how do we promote growth mindset? Like, how do I help my kid think more like that, right? We want them to be more flexible thinkers. First and foremost, talk about strengths and weaknesses openly with all family members. If you have multiple children in your home and you have maybe only one that has a 2E profile and one that has a neurotypical child, you want to talk about strengths and weaknesses for both of those kids because we all have them. Similarly, you want to talk about strengths and weaknesses for the caregivers in the home too, because we've all got them. And the reason why you're doing that is you're taking away kind of the shame and the stigma of what it means to have weaknesses. Kids, even in their oppositional moments, they still respect and look up to parents. They have a tendency to think that we're perfect, we don't make mistakes. And so the more we can talk about our own weaknesses and our own mistakes, the better framework you are providing for your child to get comfortable with that own idea for themselves. I also really love the idea of the power of yet. Your child will make all sorts of statements about all of the things that they can't do. Forcing them to add yet to the end of the sentence is one way to sort of foster more of a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. You will also hear about process praise versus product praise. So as much as possible, you're trying to praise the journey and the process as opposed to the result. I do this all the time because I'm tired and I don't really want to think about what a process praise would look like. And I'll just say, great job, right? To one of my kids, like, oh, I love it. If you can go the extra step to say, like, I love how much time you spent choosing the colors for that drawing. Or I love the details that you put into that tree. Something like that. So you're praising kind of the effort that was put into the product. That's another kind of trick to foster more of a growth mindset. As much as possible, modeling that challenges are exciting. Taking on an assignment with your kiddo and saying, oh, this looks cool. What do you think we're going to learn today? Or like, what are some new strategies that we could learn with this assignment? Or do you think we'll be able to practice some of those strategies that you learned last week on this particular assignment? Try and make it as genuine as possible. I know I have had my challenges with Common Core math, and I really do try very hard to try and be enthusiastic about the 5,000 ways you can solve just a basic math problem, right? If I get fed up, I will talk about like, okay, I'm having a hard time with this strategy because I've never learned this strategy before, and I'm not exactly understanding why this strategy applies to this specific math problem. So that like verbal problem solving, by doing that in front of your child, you are showing them that it can be hard for you and you can still push through it. And similarly with mistakes, they're opportunities, right? These are opportunities to learn as opposed to things to be ashamed of. If you have a child who makes a ton of careless errors on math problems, for example, you could say something like, oh, wow, it looks like that pink highlighter is really helping you pay attention to those signs, right? So you're highlighting that your child has learned something through the process, despite it being difficult. And this is all good because your brain needs to grow. And the only way that it's going to grow is by getting stronger in those things that are hard for you.